Hello! Right, so before this next upload begins, prepare myself. Before this next upload begins, I'd like to say a massive thank you, a toothless thank you, obviously, to a gentleman called Tony O'Neill. You may all know Tony O'Neill from his show on YouTube, which is UK Here We Grow. And if you're following our channel, you'll know that we're getting a lot of assistance, help, encouragement and advice from Tony. So a massive thank you to him. I thanked him profusely before now, but I think it's only right that I'll put this on an upload for you. Yeah, you're a great guy, and thanks a lot for all your help. Brilliant. Give us a shout out last Tuesday. We've had 3 shout outs actually so far. Actually 4 technically. And every time we have a shout out, people come and look at us, and when they come and look at us, like yourselves, hopefully they come and look and they like it, and then they subscribe to it. And so that's what's happened. So before I do this next upload, I'd like to just mention about the 4 people that have shouted us out, basically, or the 4 channels that have shouted us out. The first one to shout us out was Bill and Val at 2 Plots of Heaven. They gave us a shout out at the end of one of their videos, and it was lovely. Cracking encouragement. Their channel's brilliant. A lovely couple down from the southeast. I think it is the southeast. If I got that wrong, I'm sorry about that. It's definitely down south. And they've got a couple of lovely plots down there that they're working on. Bill is a gentle giant of a lad, and Val is a lovely lady. She's lovely, and they're both doing really well with the channel and with their plots. And good on them, they deserve it. And so the next one was Mark at Allotment Diggers, and I've already given a thank you out to Mark, but I would like to say that he's a top lad. He's a good Mancunian lad, is Mark, and he's given us a shout out a couple of weeks ago. And then Tony O'Neill went to visit Liz at By the Farm, and Liz at By the Farm and Tony, which having a good chat on that particular episode, and he mentioned about myself and also about Erica's Little Welsh Farm, or Little Welsh Garden or something. I'm sorry, it's been a long day. Erica, I will look down below. I'll put all the links down below. And yeah, so we mentioned it on that, and that was released, I think, on something like the Saturday or last Saturday or something like that. And then Tony put his own one out on Tuesday last week, and since Tuesday we've almost doubled our subscribership since then, and I'd like to say a big thank you for that. So yeah, it was Bill and Val, then it was Mark, Allotment Diggers, then it was Liz at By the Farm with Tony, and then it was Tony doing a shout out on his own. So thank you very much, cheers for that, much appreciated. And yeah, it's lifted my spirits, a bit down in the dumps at the moment. Nothing to do with the family life, but yeah, there's a few bits and pieces going on at the moment. So yeah, if I don't do as many uploads in the next few, I'll probably do more uploads, to be honest, in the next few weeks. But if I don't do as many as I usually do, then I can either only apologise, or you can say, well, thank God for that. You know what I mean? But I will be uploading. Hello, Mrs. Farmer. Mrs. Farmer's here. Doesn't like the camera though, you know. Nope. Nope.
Some of us are busy working.
Well, I'm doing the tea.
Oh. You're doing the tea?
Yeah, it's there, it's ready. Right, I'll see you later on, and have a good time. Enjoy the next upload, and we'll catch you later.
Before there's a trauma.
Come on, let me get you. Let me see if I can film you. See you later. Bye-bye. I'll leave you with Mr. Death. Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday the 16th of October 2018, and we're down on the Little Farmer's Farm. Got some plans for today. Got to clear out a lot of stuff to make room for next year. We are going to be continuing to grow in the poly tunnel, and on a couple of other little spots on the farm. But yeah, today it's a big clear out, and I mean a big clear out. I've only got a couple of hours as well to do it, but because we're going out with the kids later on, we're going to do something with the kids later. Sorry if it's a bit windy, because it is a bit windy down here. But yeah, so today I'm going to ask the ladies actually what we should do today. The bird bath ladies. Should we ask them? Yeah, I think we should. Alright. What do you think, ladies? What should we do? Well, I think all those fruit bushes are a pain in the bottom. Really? Yes, they need to go. They must go now. Alright. Anything else? Yes, I'd check on your broccoli, and I'd check on your cauliflower, and I'd check on all the other plants, and I'd see if they're doing okay, and if there's any food you can take from them. Alright, fair enough. That's what we'll do then. So you want me to set the fruit out, the fruit bushes? Yes, you never ate them, did you? Not really, no. What about the blueberries? Oh, keep those. We like those. And the strawberries. Okay. What about the red currants? Get them out! Fair enough. Yeah, so they're all coming out. All those red currant bushes were a pain. And to be honest with you, the raspberries, because they were scattered about and difficult to get to, they've not really been justifying their space on these plots. So, yeah, we've not really been harvesting many of them. They're a bit hard. What's that one like? Is it alright? Not too bad. So yeah, it's all coming out. I'm going to clear it all away because this is where we want all the root vegetables to grow next year. Now I'm debating about whether to actually stick them in the ground or to have them all in buckets. But I reckon you could probably get about 40 buckets on the go here in this location. Once all of this is cleared out of the way, which it will be. The strawberry beds have gone past production really now. They're old, they're knackered. We didn't get many strawberries off these on our side. On the extension, the yin yang extension, we did. We got quite a few, so they're staying in. All of this is coming out. It's all going to be cleared out here. All the way back, and so that's going to go to where the checker path is that I put in all along there. All of this cleared away, gone, and it'll be a space that's about 16 feet square. And so yeah, we're going to get these long beds in again. These beds are going to be up to about there, which is about a metre away from the fence line. So from here, a metre away from the fence line, all the way up to the top and across, we're going to have a metre all the way around, which is 3'6". We'll call it 3 foot for the Imperials. But yeah, so in Rebel Alliance, it's metres, obviously. I've uncovered these as well as the ladies suggested to take a look at what we were growing on. And we've got some nice ones. We've got some nice collies coming and some nice calabrese coming. So there's going to be a bit of harvesting today. Perhaps not with that one. I'll give that a week or two. And that one I'm going to leave another week. But that one's coming out today. You do the hand comparison. You know, it's a really good handful of calabrese, that. Little collie in there, they're all coming on. That's going to be coming out, so that's going to be for tea. So him and him are part of tea tonight. They're all coming on actually, if you look inside, and they're all getting little cauliflowers coming in and broccoli and stuff. So yeah, over the next 3 to 4 weeks, these will all be eaten. Inside here, I don't know whether you can pick it out because I've not lifted the tent on this, but there's a cracking big calabrese, broccoli, whatever you want to call it, in there. That's probably the biggest of them all. So he's going to be coming out as well, and he's going to be probably frozen up. We'll preserve him to be eaten later. So yeah, all sorts of stuff coming out today. So yeah, as I say, I'm going to clear that off. I'm going to be helping Mick as well when he comes down. Sandra's coming down with Mick later on, but I can't stay on all day, to be honest. Today I've got to get off. We're going out with the kids, as I say, and we're going to have a day or an afternoon with them. So I'll clear all that stuff out, get it up to the compost heap. So if there's anybody knocking about and they want a raspberry cane or whatever on the plots, I'll see if there's anybody knocking about. I can't see it though, because everybody's pretty much set up with raspberries and all that sort of stuff. Any fruits they want to grow, they're already growing, if you like. And but as I say, these red currants, they're rubbish. Don't like them. Whatever you don't like, get shut off. None of us liked them, to be honest. So they're going, and they're going to make space, as I say, for making enough room to grow our potatoes. Different plans for next year. Potatoes, Swedes, a lot of root vegetables are going in this location, and I may do it in the bucket style. But we'll think about that a bit later down the line. But I've got to clear all this space out anyway, so I can get my thinking cap on and see what's what we're going to be planning for next year in earnest. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to shift, so I'll have to see you in a bit, mate. Alright, a few weeks ago we talked about club root because it was infecting the pak choy cabbages that we know. I noticed it on the pak choy cabbages. That's the root mass, which is only quite a small, shallow root mass really, that created the cauliflower that I just took out of one of those hoop beds up at the top near the poly greenhouse. Now the soil that we put in there was the soil that Mick and I purchased from the soil suppliers. It was just topsoil that we put in there. So it was freshly introduced topsoil, so it won't have the spores, the pathogen spores that cause club root. Apparently when it gets really, really wet, club root pathogen spores or whatever, they're a mystery, these little critters that cause club roots, really. They're a weird organism that can actually swim in soil. When it gets really wet, it swims about in soil and spreads and attaches itself onto roots of brassicas especially, and causes the clubbing. Now if you look back at the club root upload, you'll see what I mean by that, but as you can see from that, no club roots, or no evidence at all as far as I can see of club root in the imported soil that we brought through, which is great, isn't it? That's good, we like that. Yeah, so I just took a couple of specimens, nice specimens, which will be consumed for tea today. And they're out of those beds at the top, those top beds. Yeah, that's where the broccoli's come from, or the calabrese has come from. And as you can see, I was keeping on top of the weeding in here, but not so much on the next door neighbour, which is this one. I've not had a chance to really keep on top of the weeding as much as I wanted to, but it's not really affected the plants too much when you have a look inside. Oh, if you can have a look inside, which you probably can't through all this mesh. But yeah, the growth's great in here anyway. I mean, that's a good 3 foot tall broccoli plant, that there. And I've done my duty for the weeding in here. But all these, as I say, are coming on over the next 2, 3, maybe even 4 weeks. These will all come to the fore. If we don't get too much of a hot snap and it stresses the plants out, these will carry on growing and producing and getting larger right up until November. You know, these will take us past Halloween and into bonfire night. You can see there's a few little ones coming along, which will just continue to grow. Next 2 or 3 weeks we'll get some more out of here, and yeah, continue harvesting into November of this particular batch. Probably going to be the same on this side in the big tunnel, the big tent rather, the big growing tent. Yeah. Eventually, what I want is it to all be like this, but with some open planting as well. Because I don't like to have absolutely everything under cover. So the hardier plants are going to be looked into as to what can stand the test of time and is more resilient towards bugs, especially like cabbage white butterflies and stuff like that, that we can plant outside. And so yeah, that's what we're going to be looking at over the next few weeks and deciding then the full rearranged setup. And when I do decide that, I'll get the plans drawn up. Well, I'll draw the plans up rather, and I'll show you that, and we'll see if it replicates it when it actually comes into real life next year. Because you know what I'm like, I might change my mind every 2 minutes. I do that. So, but I don't want to be doing that next year because we want to be frugal as much as we can. As you know, there was a lot of building going on last year, or rather this year. There's been a lot of building going on, a lot of capital expenditure spent. And yeah, so we don't want that next year. We want to learn from that, and we want to let you guys know about that as well, and so that you don't have to spend too much money that you don't need to spend. Okay, so that's going to be the plan going forward. Alright, see you in a bit. Yeah, so this guy's getting an invite to dinner tonight. He's a good size. In fact, I think he's about the same size as the other one. So let's get him out. I'll just show you the knife that I've got from Mick next door. Well, I've not got it, I've just borrowed it because I didn't have mine with me, and he'd left it in the poly tent last night. And it's this. It's a Wilkinson sword folding karambit. Now I'm going to be careful here when I open it. In fact, I'll open it safely, like that. So it's a Wilkinson sword karambit. It's got a tapering edge, tapers to the point, and then there's a secondary grind just at the last minute on it. So you can pick that up actually, you can see that. We're better doing it like that. It's got a secondary grind there, and it makes short work of these. I'll see if I can do it now one-handed for you. The curved blade is a good cutting edge, a good slicing edge, isn't it? So if we get underneath the head, and just give it this, and that'll take it out. Beheaded. Oh, my old bones are not as useful as they were. So that's that. And we've just tied him up, make him presentable for the lady farmer. So let's get him down here. Try and see if I can avoid the fox poo, which I didn't manage to do first thing this morning. I certainly found that, as you can see. So I had a good dance about in the long grass, so get rid of that off my feet. I'm sure that fox thinks that this is where its toilet is. You know, likes it down here, loves it. Loves my bit. Has a nice relaxing poo whenever he comes down, you know. But, yeah, so that's what we're taking today. The broccoli can probably last in the fridge for a good week, and we'll be eating that through the week. Calabrese broccoli. Technically it's called Calabrese, that, because the broccoli is the thin stem stuff, like your purple sprouting and whatnot, but that's Calabrese, which is obviously brassica in the broccoli family. Everybody really thinks of that as broccoli, so we'll call it broccoli, shall we, just for ease. It's very, very good for you. It's packed with antioxidants. It's got tons of vitamin C in it. It's been linked to certainly fending off cancer, and if you do have cancer, it's no bad thing to take plenty of broccoli, because it's known to be a good fighter against cancer, especially certain types of cancer. So yeah, really, really good, really nutritious stuff. This is all organically grown, as you know, so there's no herbicides, pesticides or insecticides gone anywhere near it. And for me and the family, I think that's the way forward, and I think you should consider that when you're planning on doing your growing. to grow stuff that's nutrient dense. There's a good website called World's Healthiest Foods, and if you go on there, it gives you a list of all different types of foods, the common grown stuff as well, that you can get your hands on, and it gives you the nutritional breakdown of all those foods. Now, kale's one of the top ones, as you probably know. Cress, watercress, it's another one. All your brassicas, really, your leafy greens are good for you. And you can't be too worried about the actual land that it's taking up when you're growing these, because it does take up about 2.5 square feet of your land. Look at that wasp. About 2.5 square feet of your land for each plant that you grow. And you think, you may think to yourself, oh, well, is it just for that? Well, no, because all of these leaves can be eaten. And they can be eaten in the same way that cabbage can be eaten. Cabbage can be eaten. And they themselves are packed with nutrients and immune-boosting anti-cancer properties. So I would heartily recommend that you get into it and start growing it organically. Alright? Listen to me, Dr. Maffinder. I'm just looking at mixed Brussels sprouts coming on.
You can see for these flies.
It's snowing at the moment with the white fly.
Oh, there's your eating sprouts Christmas Day.
Defo.
Plenty sprouts. Might be in sprout risotto Boxing Day too.
I wonder if you can pick it up, these white fly, but there are absolutely millions of them. There's millions of them, isn't there?
Yeah. What's in that?
We're just spraying all this black stuff off, which I think is white fly poo, because there's that many white flies on these.
In that case, I'm full of shit.
Yay! Well, it's all good. It's all good stuff, isn't it? Insect crap, I suppose, isn't it? But it is stuck like poo to a blanket. It's difficult to get it off. Yeah.
The butter on that.
Sweet corn.
Look at that for a sweet corn. The king of the sweet corns, this one.
Yeah, that's a beef. Right.
That's a good size, isn't it?
All white inside. Oh, that's not so bad. Yeah, Bonner cobs.
Yeah, yellow.
Do that.
That'll do.
Put it in the pan.
Some outside Tom's still going on.
Oh, there's another one. There's a bit on that's not done that one.
Yeah, let's get outside. Yeah, so massive clear outs. Oops, sorry. Massive clear outs this next couple of weeks. Big changes afoot. It's all coming out. When I say all, I say it's not all coming out. It's there's quite a lot coming out though this next couple of weeks, and I'll just show you around where we're clearing out, where we're going to be clearing and making ready for next year, if I can, without dropping you. So there's this bit at the side of where we put the bean and tomato beds in. These are all going to be probably bean beds next year. I know you shouldn't plant twice in a row, but that was all fresh compost and soil that we'd got in there for these. So can't see there being too many issues. They haven't been affected this year. I'm going to try it again for next year, leaving those in as bean and pea beds. This side here, that's where the 8x6 greenhouse is going to go, the new one, as soon as we can get sorted out with glass and or polycarbonate, clear polycarbonate in there. That's where that's going to go. I'm going to use the same sort of stuff, I think, as what Mick's used, which is that stuff, because I think that's £4. It works out at £4 a sheet. It's 10 sheets for £40 delivered, that, and they're 4 foot by 2 foot. Probably need 2 packs of that, and we'll have some left over, so it's going to cost me about £80 to glass it all out or polycarb it all out. So there's this growing area here, greenhouse there, and then there's this bit which we can have as an 8x8 with a walkway in the middle of it, which takes up about a foot, so it's like 3.5 feet each side for growing in this part. There's your bean beds and pea beds. This is going to be potatoes, all of this bit, apart from where the strawberries are. The strawberries are going to be nestled in. Not a great deal of strawberries. We had far too many strawberries last year. We couldn't eat them. It was far too many. So we're limiting that because strawberries are also going onto the tiki hut. So we're going to have hangers on the tiki hut that are fixed onto the tiki hut. Maybe even guttering or something like that for the strawberries, I don't know. But they're going on the tiki hut, on the sides. Yeah. And then as we come up here, and take you through, that kale's coming along nice in the Nero de Cosca kale. There's 3 kale plants in there. We're going to take some of that today as well. There's our cabbage. Our broccoli and cauliflower that I took before. Taking some more beans. It's got the last of the broad beans out, and they're in there. They're for dinner tonight. Got leeks in there. Yeah, so there's been a big pogrom on the fruit bushes. They're all coming out, apart from the blueberries. We'll have blueberries and strawberries. I think we'll limit it to that. Because I want this space. I want to take this space, which is about 18 by 17 or something like that it'll be, square feet, and we're going to have 3 or 4 fresh beds in, long beds like this, in going all the way up there, probably 3 decent sized beds all the way up there and there. This will probably be the fruity section. I'm going to extend that a little bit and get raised net cages over these with doors that you can just open up on either side and get into. And we'll try it like that. We'll see how we go on like that with it. Although these have been open to the elements and they're not suffering very much. So I might just do that. I might just leave them as bushes, raised bushes. Maybe coming out. I've been eating loads of these. I don't think there's very many on it. There's one. But I've had probably about 100 berries. Not sweet, that one. Probably had about 100 berries off that blueberries this year. And they only went in July. They were already starting. But they only went in at the beginning of July. Yeah, sweet, that's quite sweet. So we'll see how we go down with them, because there's 5 in there. There's a large one in the middle, and the 4 other varieties around the outsides of it. So all of these have come out. This is all got to be shifted sometime this week. All of that and that, and I'm going to have to continue to sort of weed, dig it out, and all the rest of it, and then get it all covered up, ready for next year. Because I'm not going to be doing any beds in this part this year, this calendar year. I'm going to wait until winter time, probably January, and then put the beds in, but leave them covered. So all this soil is going to be just covered over until then with a weed membrane. I've closed those back up, so I've taken what I wanted. And as I say, over the next 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to be taking loads, basically, of cauliflower and broccoli. If you look to the side there, you can see all the cauliflower and broccoli coming through. He's going to be next week. The one next door to it's probably going to be the year after. You might not be able to pick this up, but you can see from where I am, there's loads of, I mean, that one in the centre there, that's a broccoli head. So collies and broccolis are in here, so that's what we're going to be taking. We've got Brussels sprouts ourselves growing in there. I don't know how they're going to get on, but they're all in the centre of it. And there's collies and broccolis around the outside of that as well. You can see a broccoli right there. A couple of cauliflowers in the centres. You see the white, when I look closely, you can see the white curds in the thick of it. But there's a heck of a lot of clearing out to do. As all you growers will know, that at this time of year, there's tons and tons of this kind of work that you've got to do. You've got to get all the old out in preparation for next year when you're going to be putting the new in. So, yeah, that's where we're up to with that. And for the growing side of it, we're going to be concentrating on the polytunnel, sorry, and that's where we're going to be doing our little bits of growing in there, or the majority of it in there. The leeks can stay in. We'll see how we get on as how high they get, whether they can actually live and happily live inside of there. We don't know. We'll see how they get on. Weeding's got to be done as well inside of those. It's a constant battle with the weeds, as well we know. As you can see, I've not actually planted some of these things that are in here. That's spinach that never got planted. So I might just take that as it is. Mate, look at that. Is that a little tiny cauliflower? That's a little tiny cauliflower. It's still in its pot. What a silly Billy I am. Just not had the time, just been working and bloody driving myself insane. Not had time to do what I want to do. But that's what you've got to do. You've got to earn money, haven't you? You've got to work. Unfortunately. So there's the other pea bed that we've got. That's the pea and bean cage there. And there's the pea bed that we've got on that side. Again, that's probably going to be utilised as a pea and bee bed. Or a pea bed. Because that was quite productive. We got about £3 or £4 worth of peas off there. But they were only sort of a dwarf pea variety. They only grow to about 3 feet. The ones that we had in. All these beds are going to be cleared out. That one was sacrificed yesterday for the polytunnel. These are all going to be hoop netted for next year. That's the plan. Everything's going to be hoop netted more or less, apart from we're going to keep these 2 cages that we've got here. We're going to keep that one and the bigger one, the 8x4. The 8x4 and the 6x4 are staying. All the rest of it are going to be hooped over like those ones at the top, because I quite like them. It looks good. It looks good, that. And they're pretty easy to maintain. They're pretty foolproof, really, those. They're easy to maintain. These are 2 Heath Robinson. Now, they've served the purpose. They've been the experiment. But we don't need them. They're unnecessary. They're unnecessary. And they're not tall enough for the kick-off. They want to be about... that's a good size, that one. That one at the top there that stands about 5 feet tall at the apex of it. That is a good size, that one. But the other one's a little bit small, although it doesn't seem to be suffering. And that's about 3.5 feet tall. That 3.5 to 4 feet, I suppose, the middle. That's about 5.5 feet. That one, about 5'6" at the middle. That's plenty big enough. But yeah, all come together. Sweet potatoes. I'm rambling. Right, so it's good night from me, and good night from Mick over there. I'll give the thumbs up for him. He's busy there with Sandra. And we'll see you next time, down on the Little Farmer's Farm, or the Yin Yang Farm, as it's slowly becoming. Alright, take care, have a good week, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye now. I'll leave you with Mr. Death. Our little scarecrow, I'll leave you with him. There's Mr. Death. What do you think, Mr. Death? Rubbish!